Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Today is August 10th, 2017. Time is 7 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bridget, would you call the roll, please?
President Riley?
Yes.
Vice President Janner? Absent. Commissioner Carlson? Yes. Commissioner Egan?
Present.
Commissioner Ensign?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Here.
Commissioner Todd?
Here.
President Riley, Vice President Janner called me and asked if he could participate by phone due to being out of town on business.
So the move would be to entertain a motion to permit Commissioner Janner to participate electronically.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Ensign?
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson?
Yes.
Commissioner Egan?
Aye.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
President Riley?
Yes. Now we'll arrange to connect him.
I now have his personal identity.
Hello, this is Rich.
Commissioner Janner, it's Ray McGurry. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask Sergeant Steve Schindbeck, Colonel Schnibbin, and Mike Harrington to please join me at the podium. Tonight, we want to recognize someone who has worked behind the scenes for the past 5 years to ensure that Naperville's outdoor summer festivals are safe events for everyone who attends. Sergeant Steve Schindbeck of the Naperville Police Department has served as the Special Events Sergeant for Ribfest, Last Fling, and other major events, working with the Naperville Police and Naperville Park District Police to manage the security on site and to plan ahead for every possible problem. As a board, we want to thank you for your excellent service. We have formalized our appreciation in a resolution that reads as follows. Whereas Sergeant Steve Schindbeck served for 5 years as Special Events Sergeant for all major special events for which the City of Naperville Park District shared responsibility, and whereas Sergeant Schindbeck proactively planned for event safety, anticipating almost every conceivable problem and how to handle each one. And whereas he worked with the Park Police on a detailed assignment schedule for officers working the event, making the best use of each person's time. And whereas he brought resources from outside agencies, including canine officers from Kane County and Burlington Northern Police, the Illinois Law Enforcement Alarm System, Mobile Field Force, and the Visible Intermodal Prevention and Response, the Viper team. And whereas he applied the concept, if you see something, say something, from the New York Police Department to our local events safety planning. And whereas he worked well with the nonprofits planning the events to help them prioritize public safety as their top concern. And whereas his diligence has helped Naperville avoid some of the problems that have occurred at large events in other parts of the country. Now therefore be it resolved that the Naperville Park District Board of Park Commissioners commends Sergeant Steve Schindbeck for his outstanding contribution to the safety and success of Naperville's largest outdoor events. Congratulations. Chief.
Good evening, everybody. For the last 5 years, I've had the pleasure of attending countless planning sessions, one floor above us, for any of our special events, and those have been involving all the people from the city of Naperville and the Park District. And usually our role has been Steve and myself planning what our public safety response would be. I can say without hesitation that the sharpest person in that room in all those meetings was Steve. He's the guy who kept everything online for anything that we had to do to plan accordingly. Now, when the actual events got worked, this gentleman here, Lieutenant Mike Harrington, is the person who shared the command booth with Sergeant Schindelbeck much more than I did. So I'm going to turn this over to Mike so that he can say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. I just wanted to say to Sergeant Schindlebeck, we're going to miss his leadership. He has set policies and procedures in motion that will last long after he's gone. He has made the events all over Naperville, whether it's the marathons, the last flings, the rib fests, any of the parades, anything that's going on in town. He has applied what we've seen unfortunately happen on the national stage, tried to prevent that from happening here on the local stage. I feel very confident that the policies and procedures that he has put into place going forward will carry us through and make all of our events in Naperville as safe as they possibly can. I'm going to miss his friendship. I'm going to miss his leadership. He has been a terrific partner to work with, and he will absolutely be missed. So thank you for all your hard work.
Just real quickly, I first want to thank the board for this. I do appreciate this, and quite honestly, I'm only as good as the people that I work with, and I'm fortunate to have two of those people next to me. We spent countless hours in an RV together. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but at the end of the day, we were not only coworkers, but we were friends, and we would tabletop anything that we thought might happen. We knew what to expect from the other if one of us got tied up on something. So I never had to worry once about what would happen if I stepped out of the command post to tackle something. I knew Mike or I knew somebody else from the Park District staff would be there to take care of it. So again, I appreciate the recognition, but I truly am only as good as these guys next to me. So thanks.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite two Park District employees, Park Specialist Fernando Jimenez and Park Specialist Steve Colesta, to join me at the podium. One of the privileges that we have as park commissioners is to get a sense of how much work goes on behind the scenes every day to ensure that we have a safe and beautiful community parks. The employees responsible for this excellent work take pride in doing their work as a public service, but do not seek public recognition. Tonight, however, two employees went above and beyond their duties to help residents in need, and we want to commend them for their actions. Steve and Fernando were working on a Sunday at Lincoln Greenway Park along the DuPage River to remove a tree after a storm. They saw a canoe capsize on the river and heard people in distress. Immediately, they grabbed the canoe, helped the family out of the water, carried the canoe to the street where it'd be easier to load into a car, and offered the family their cell phone so they could call for help. The family was so grateful that they wrote to the Park District the following note. In today's world, where people are afraid to help for fear of being sued or focusing on placing blame for challenges, these two men stepped up and not only helped out my family, but renewed my faith in mankind. No small accomplishment there. Unfortunately, I do not know their names, but I want to make sure to thank the Park District. And so the Park District can check who was out cutting out trees in Lincoln Park on Sunday and recognize them for their efforts. In the words of Director of Parks Kevin Finnegan, who wrote a letter to Steve and Fernando, your actions were courageous and demonstrate the dedication and thoughtfulness you both have for the residents that use our parks in Naperville. You witnessed people in need, and you acted quickly. The following statement made by Steve describes the kindness you both exhibited on this day. In the end, I felt like I just did something that anyone would do when they saw someone in need. On behalf of the Naperville Park District and Board of Commissioners, I thank both of you for your actions on Sunday, July 23rd. Would you like to say anything? Would you like to say a few words?
I guess I'll just say thank you very much for having us here, and we didn't really need this, but we really appreciate this, and we're just happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Hello. I want to say thanks God for helping people on the river. I appreciate all you. Thank you.
Next item is matters from the public. Bridget, do we have anyone signed up?
We do not.
Then we'll move on to updates and reports. First, the Parks Foundation, Commissioner Ensign.
Thank you, President Riley. The Naperville Parks Foundation Board of Directors met July 11th, and Lisa Thomas was welcomed as our newest director on the Board of Directors. The meeting was held at Worley Furniture, where we saw much of the Hobson oak wood, which had just come back from the kiln. Paul Ward expects to have the first piece done by the end of September. An artist who donates a piece benefits by being part of the journey of this historic Hobson oak tree, and they also benefit from exposure, presence, and the spirit of the project. The directors are currently compiling a list of artists, not-for-profit strategic partners, sponsors, and potential buyers. One of the next significant milestones might be a reception where artists can come and see the wood, and all might be inspired by the story. We are expanding our use of social media pages like the facebook.com/HobsonOak. Elsewhere in the Hobson Oak project, Director Worley reported that Morton Arboretum has roughly 265 seedlings spawned from the Hobson Oak's acorns, and a place called Possibility Place has successfully germinated about 50 more. They are expected that in autumn of 2018, we will have the optimum time to make the trees available for sale. Dr. Sherritt's new version of the foundation website is coming closer to going live. The board reviewed the draft and is impressed with the progress so far. The next meeting of the Naperville Parks Foundation will be August 22nd at 5:15 p.m. at the Riverwalk Cafe by Rotary Hill. Thank you.
Next, we'll have a Riverwalk Commission update. Commissioner Todd, sorry, took it out of order.
The Riverwalk Commission met on August 9th. There was a discussion regarding the Moser Tower. Since the last meeting, various additional proposals have come to light, and there will be a meeting with a variety of engineers to determine what can be done with the tower. It will take several months to come to a recommendation, and the idea is that it's important for the Commission to be fully informed as to the options that are available. Additionally, there will be a task force established with representatives from the Park District staff, City Council, Riverwalk Commission, and past Millennium Foundation members, to name a few. The task force is looking for folks with views from both sides, both pros and cons. It's expected there will be 9 to 10 members on this task force. The charter of the task force will be to collect data and look at a long-term solution, not only whether to keep the structure or not, but also how to pay for any recommended proposals. Their findings will be brought to the Riverwalk Commission in order to make a recommendation to City Council. Any member of the public who is interested in serving on this task force can contact the mayor's office. Additional topics covered including a review of the Riverwalk budget. The capital projects budget is only about 4% spent, but this is because the majority of the capital budget is focused on the development of the 430 South Washington property, There's no movement on this project since the city is waiting for release of grants to fund the redevelopment, and these grants are coming from the state. The operating budget for the Riverwalk is in line with the budget predictions. In other business, the Smart Park was discussed. The commission approved a motion to add the Smart Park to the official Riverwalk map, with the city being responsible for all development and maintenance of the site. This would then allow donations to the Smart Park to be accepted through the Riverwalk Foundation. This addition will be coming to the Park Board for approval as an addition to the Riverwalk in the next few meetings. And that's it for this month. The next meeting is scheduled for September 13th.
Thank you. Next, we have the Parks and Recreation Committee update. Commissioner Ensign.
Thank you, President Riley. The Naperville Park District Parks and Recreation Committee met at the 95th Street Library on July 21st, where we discussed these 4 items. First, a Dream Big proposal from the 95th Street Library. The library manager, Karen Dunsford, from the 95th Street Library proposed a library and park district partnership. Each day, 2,000 residents visit the 95th Street Library, not including those that also go to Neuqua Valley High School, Frontier Sport Complex, and adjoining businesses. Yet we have an undeveloped area immediately south of the 95th Street Library. If we were to add amenities and create an outdoor plaza, it could be enjoyed by this large concentration of resident visitors. The committee members endorsed studying options at getting preliminary costs for further discussion. Second, Southwest Community Park farm license and the city leaf disposal. We discussed coordinating between the city and the farmer leasing the future location of Southwest Community Park for efficiencies in the city leaf collection and disposal program. The Parks and Recreation Committee concurred with pursuing an environmentally friendly strategy to be mutually beneficial by the taxpayers, the farmer, and the city. Third, the planning and development facility discussion. With improvements in the central maintenance facility, indoor space is opening up this fall at the Planning and Development Center at 425 West Jackson Avenue. Staff were originally proposing the space be converted to more program space. However, high preliminary cost estimated suggested that more efficient return on investment might come from other options. For example, the same funds might go further if they were used to build the remaining space at Fort Hill Activity Center, or to renovate dance and theater space that we lease at Naperville Central High School and make that available for increased capacity. Finally, there's a disc golf proposal. Bill Casey from Neuqua Valley High School requested Frontier Sports Complex for disc golf during PE classes. However, a permanent disc golf course conflicts with after-school use of the fields, so the committee favored investigating temporary disc golf baskets for use only during the school day. The next meeting of the Parks and Recreation Committee will be at 10:30 a.m. on Friday, September 15th at 320 West Jackson Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the President's report. It's a very brief report this evening. First, a quote. "You can arrive at the future or you can help shape it." The strategic plan we developed in 2009 has served the community well. It provided clear direction and goals for staff and the board. It also led to the committee-based process flow that has contributed to thoughtful development of new projects. Now is the time to refresh our strategic plan. While we are comfortable with how we're doing, as borne out by a recent community survey, we don't want to get complacent. We've accomplished a great deal over the past few years. We know we can do more. The strategic plan will help us identify and achieve the future state we desire for the Naperville Park District. Next is our Executive Director's report.
Thank you, President Riley. Several things to talk about here. Program registration is currently underway for the upcoming autumn season. To register or to view the Autumn 2017 Virtual Program Guide, please visit our website, www.napervilleparks.org. Registration for the 2017 fall and winter seasons of Naperville Youth Basketball will take place next week, starting on Tuesday, August 15th for residents and Thursday, August 17th for non-residents. This league is for ages 5 through 12 and is a great way to keep kids active this fall and winter. Practice locations are spread around the community, with games being played at the Fort Hill Activity Center. Visit our website or refer to the Autumn Program Guide for additional details, including our practice locations. Mark your calendar for Sunday, September 17th, when the Knocknolls Nature Center will host the Monarch Festival, a free event for the whole family. Learn about the importance of pollinators and enjoy various activities that teach adults and children alike the importance of butterflies and other insects in our environment. For more information, please visit napervilleparks.org/Knocknolls. Enjoy 50% off our 2017 memberships at Centennial Beach this month. There's still a lot of summer left and fun to be had, so you can do so with this great discount. Visit centennialbeach.org for details on our summer sunshine sale. And then finally, calling area women golfers. Pick a partner and join in the friendly competition of the Springbrook Women's Invitational on Monday, August 21st. Spots are filling up fast and the tournament is almost at capacity. Don't miss your chance to play in one of the best golf tournaments of the season. Visit golfnaperville.org for details and registration information. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is approval of the treasurer's report.
Move to approve the June 2017 Treasurers' Report.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Bridget, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensign,
Yes.
Commissioner Janner,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Aye.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
President Riley.
Yes. Next item is the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Move to accept consent agenda items A through F.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? This is a roll call vote. Bridget, would you please call the roll?
Yes.
Commissioner Ensign,
Yes.
Commissioner Janner,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Aye.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
President Riley.
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda as accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This is a voice vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business. We have no new business. So information on future meetings. Next regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners will be August 24th, 2017, 6:30 p.m. at the Fort Hill Activity Center, followed by the September 14th, 2017 regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners at 7 p.m. in this facility. And then September 28th at 6:30 p.m., regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners at the Fort Hill Activity Center. Next item on the agenda is executive session.
Move to adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel under Section 2C1, land acquisition under 2C5, and executive session minutes under Section 2C21 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Bridget, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Vice President Janner, are you there?
Yes, I didn't hear anything. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
There'll be no action after executive session, so we'll just come back to adjourn.